Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name's Natasha, and today we are going to reconstitute my meal in a jar that is shepherd's pie. So I'm going to bring you guys down here and I'm going to walk you through everything that I do to reconstitute this and make this into a meal. Before we get started, I do want to mention that I am going to be giving away a free copy of my holiday edition recipe ebook, and I will link down below or post right here how you can enter into that giveaway. And of course, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Alright guys, so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this cheese reconstituted, and that is because it needs to sit in the refrigerator. And if you did miss the first video of everything that we put in here, I will post that right up here in the cards for you to go and watch that. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull my bag of cheese out. Whew. And put it in its own separate bowl. Alright, and for 1 cup of cheese, we're going to add 3.5 tablespoons of water. This is cold water. 1, 2, 3, and then a half. Okay, I'm just going to use my fingers to kind of mix that in a little bit. Okay, and that is going to reconstitute that cheese. All right, now on the Thrive Life package, it says to put it back into the little baggie, but I am just going to throw this into the fridge. So it says to put it into the bag and then back into the fridge, but we're just going to put it in the fridge. All right, so while that is in the refrigerator, we are going to get the rest of this stuff reconstituted up. So I've just got a large bowl here, and I'm just going to throw everything that is in my large jar into this bowl. All right, and we are going to add 2 cups is what we're going to start with, and then see how that reconstitutes, and if we need a little bit more, we can add a little bit more, but you can't always take out. So it's always important when you're reconstituting freeze-dried foods to go with a little less first. So I've got 2 cups of boiling water here. One and 2. I'm going to kind of whisk this up a little bit, and then I'm going to grab some aluminum foil, okay, and I'm going to cover this. So the idea behind this is to cover it and trap the heat in, so that way those vegetables can slowly absorb that water. All right, and we're going to let this sit for about 5 minutes. So while this is setting, we're going to do our mashed potatoes real quick. All right, the next thing we're going to do is pour in our mashed potato powder. Okay, and to reconstitute these, you can use either milk or water. I'm just going to use water today. And you need 1 1/4 cup. So here's 1 1/4, and this is the hot water again. Now keep in mind that potato flakes reconstitute rather quickly, so you can see here we've already got pretty much instant mashed potatoes. They reconstitute super fast. All right. Now, of course, if you are somebody that likes a ton of mashed potatoes, you could absolutely double the mashed potato ratio that we did in the first video. I just know that we like a nice thin layer of mashed potatoes on top of our shepherd's pie, so that is our preference, but you can always add or decrease depending on your preference. All right, same thing with the other one. I'm going to get this covered up, and I'm going to set this to the side, and we're going to check on these in a couple minutes. I will see you back in a few. All right guys, so it's been about 5 minutes. We're gonna check and see how this is doing. We might have to add just a little bit more water to it to get those green beans fully reconstituted. Those are usually the last thing vegetable-wise to reconstitute in this recipe, so. All right, got myself a fork. Make sure I get a green bean in here. It looks delicious already, now that I have half of it in my hand.
I'll be the judge of that.
You can't see your face with it. No.
Why?
The green beans are still slightly crunchy.
No, just a little more water.
A little more water. So I'm gonna add about a 1/4 cup, a little bit more water, and then we're gonna let this sit for another 3 to 5 minutes, and then we will assemble everything and throw it into the oven to just completely make it all melt together and all the flavors to come together, just like you would a regular shepherd's pie. Ooh, I might not even add a whole 1/4 cup. Let's see. Kind of see how that absorbs in there. Yeah, okay. So I added about 1/8 of a cup. If you guys want the full recipe to this, I will leave it linked down in the description box below. It is going to be available on my blog. So we're going to cover this back up for another 3 to 5 minutes. Let those green beans get just a little bit more moisture in them, and then everything will be ready to go into our 8x8 pan. In about another 5 to 8 minutes, we're going to pull this off and see how this is doing. So this looks delicious. I just absolutely love that everything in here is clean ingredients. This is such a simple thing to have for a quick dinner when you really don't want to think about having to pull meat out of the freezer, or you're just looking for something that you can make in an emergency. I'm sure you could absolutely do this over the fire in a cast iron skillet easily, because you're essentially just adding water to reconstitute and then baking for pretty much prettiness. But you could eat this just like this if you needed to. So I'm going to test out, make sure these vegetables are reconstituted. God, that's so good. Wow. That has so much flavor in it from the bouillon that we use, the beef bouillon from Thrive Life. I can't get enough of that. Okay. So let's start assembling this. I've got my, all right, so I do have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. We are going to first add in the base mixture. And we're going to spread that evenly down here. All right, and the next thing I'm going to add is our mashed potatoes. Like I said, if you want more mashed potatoes or less mashed potatoes, you are always welcome to play with the serving sizes on that. You could easily get a quart-sized jar and do more mashed potatoes and more cheese. That is definitely an option. Oh, this looks so good. All right. That is like the perfect amount for this 8x8 pan. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna pop this in the oven for a couple of minutes, and then what I like to do is I like to take my cheese and put that on after I get this all warmed up and all kind of the rest of that liquid reconstitutes the rest of the veggies. And then I will pull it out, put on the cheese, and then we will pop it underneath the broiler for a couple of minutes on high. So into the oven we go. All right, look at that. So we put that in the oven on 375 for about 12 minutes. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull our cheese out of the refrigerator and get that on, and we are gonna broil the cheese on top. So you can see the cheese kind of comes out more of a
Pimento looking thing.
yeah, it's not like cheese shreds anymore. It's a little bit thicker, but it should still melt just fine.
Almost curd. Crumbly.
Yeah, it's definitely reconstituted though. Like it's not crunchy, so. It smells good. It smells very cheesy. I wish I could eat cheese.
More cheese for me.
So this is Luke's favorite dish. So this is going to be the true test as to whether or not this recipe is a winner, okay? Because Luke is also English, so we're kind of, we're testing the limits here on recreating this. All right.
I'm scared. I'm scared and excited.
Yeah.
It's like a haunted house, but
It's like a haunted house of food.
delicious. Possibly.
Yeah, I already told him that if he likes this recipe, we'll make him up a bunch of little single-sized jars that he can just pull and create at nighttime.
And I will.
A nice little midnight snack. All right, so we're gonna throw this back into the oven and get that cheese all broiled up. Wow.
Let's go.
Look at that. Look at how delicious. You can see it bubbling on the side. Wow.
I'm ready.
The big spoon. All right, hang on guys, let me set you back up and we will start dishing it out and taste test. All right, so Luke brought out the big spoon. We're gonna get this dished out and taste test.
I'm gonna need a bigger bowl.
Really? All right. Luke's going for the bigger bowl. He's not even playing.
It sounds like it. Sounds
Wow,
good.
it does. Oh yes. And it doesn't look like it dried out too much, which is perfect. Let's see if we can't get a beautiful scoop there. Oh, you're gonna need more than that. Boom, boom, boom. Remember guys, this is Luke's favorite meal, so that's why he's juiced over here. Oh man, that looks great.
So it looks good. Sounds good. Nice, good shell there. Let's get a little bit of
That's
air.
probably super hot.
It looks hot.
Did
Wish
he
me
burn?
luck, everyone.
Did he burn his tongue?
Let's give it a little blow. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How does it compare to like fully fresh?
it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's not. Whoop. Bouillon did you use?
I
not
use
salty.
Thrive Life's, the beef one. This is, like I said guys in the very first video, this is the first time we've used their beef bouillon. We usually use the English version that Luke's mom is able to get from England for us.
Oxo cubes.
Yeah, the OXO cubes. So like,
They're a lot saltier. This is not.
yeah,
not
they are a
salty.
lot saltier than this.
Yeah. This is really good. I'm with it. I think the kids will like it too.
Yeah, usually the kids don't like my shepherd's pie, but this one's, I think they're,
crazy, crazy. these kids.
I know they are.
It's insanity.
It is insanity.
Good job, baby.
Woohoo! A meal in a jar that is like a legit, it's got everything in it that you need. Your proteins, your carbs,
Some dairy.
a little bit of dairy.
Yeah, that's good.
And you can easily double this, guys. If you've got a larger family that you're trying to feed, you can easily double this recipe and put it into a 9x13. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. I will see you in the next video. Bye.